everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiana and I am the founder of The Honest Plan, where we talk all about money, budgeting, and planning. And today I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys how I was able to increase my credit score from a 629 to a 754 in just 1 year. So before we get started, if you want to learn more about me, I'm actually going to show you guys my Instagram right here, where you can just click on my Instagram highlights and it has my entire money story if you want to get to know me a little bit better. So go over to my Instagram at The Honest Plan. So let's go ahead and get started. So a little backstory about me. I am a first generation college student. Going into school, I didn't know really anything about money, budgeting, credit. The importance of credit was just never talked about. So once I got to school, I signed up for a college cashback card with Wells Fargo. I think I got it in the mail or something, and I just called to set it up, and I got approved for, I think the initial balance was $500. The initial limit was $500. So at first I was using it responsibly to hopefully build my credit. Then I kind of was in between jobs or just not doing what I should have been doing, and I ended up maxing out that credit card for $500. And nice of Wells Fargo, so kind of them, they increased my credit limit to $1,300. So I already wasn't able to manage $500. So then me as a freshman, a sophomore in college, I see now that I have a limit of $1,300. I'm like, oh, okay, I got some money. I can go shop. I mean, we can do some things. What do you guys want to do? Which was very immature of me looking back at it. So long story short, I ended up maxing that out as well. So that brought my credit score all the way down. I feel like at one point in time, I even reached the 500 mark. And I had other credit cards that I eventually maxed out. I had some things in collections that I just was ignoring. I was not answering the phone calls when the debt collectors were calling me. I just was very rude. I wasn't trying to hear what they had to say to me. I just kind of was like, you're not getting any money from me, so do what you need to do. And that was not the best thing that I could have done, because it ended up hitting, going to collections and hitting my credit score even more. So once I started to sit down and actually take things seriously, and just take a deep dive of my credit history, my credit reports and things like that, and I saw that I had a 629. So I did several things. The first thing that I did was I looked on Credit Karma to get the information for the collection agencies that now held my debt. So I had two things in collections. So I had to call the debt collectors and try to settle the debt. One of the payments I was able to pay in full. The other one I ended up going with a payment plan option. So if you're watching this and you are interested to learn what are some things that you can do to increase your credit score, and maybe you have some things in collections, first, the worst thing that you can do is to avoid the debt collectors. Learn from me. We all know that them calling over and over and over again at different times of the day is annoying, but honestly, just answer the phone and try to work it out. Get some things in writing. Maybe tell them to send you a letter to their house if you don't feel as comfortable with talking to them over the phone. But do answer the phone call and try to work it out before it hit collections. Because once it hits collections, that's a derogatory mark on your credit report, and that's just something that you do not want. So you can also negotiate the amount that you pay. That's something that I did not know going into it. So looking back, if I would have known, I would have negotiated the price that I paid, but I just ended up paying it completely off. I had one that I paid in full, and then another one that I went with a payment plan option and was able to pay it off within like 2 months. So go and try to negotiate the price that you pay. You may even end up having to pay just half of that. So anything is better than it hitting your credit score, your credit report. But if it does, just call them, own up to it, and just try to negotiate it. And if you do negotiate it, get everything in writing. Get them to send you something in the mail or via email with the person that you spoke to and the payment options that you went with. Do not give them your card information if you do not have things in writing. The second thing that I did to increase my credit score was I got serious about getting on a budget and sticking to a debt reduction plan. So I went with the debt snowball. That's the plan that I felt worked best for me and kind of just gave me a sense of accomplishment a little more than the debt avalanche system would have done. So I listed my debts from smallest to largest, and I started to attack them one by one. And once I was able to get one card done, I switched over and started aggressively attacking the next one in line. So that's what the debt snowball method will have you doing. There's also different methods that you can go with. So just figure out which method works best for you. But for me, it was the debt snowball method. The third thing that I did was keeping my credit utilization rate under a 10%. I know a lot of people say 30%, but for me, I just felt more comfortable and I saw my credit score increasing more when I kept it under a 10%. So this was after I paid off both credit cards. So now I still use my credit cards, but I just make sure that I keep my balance underneath a 10% utilization rate. And what that means is if I have a $10,000 credit limit on my credit cards, I do not use more than $1,000 at a time, or I don't keep a balance over $1,000 at a time. And the last thing that I did was set up auto pay on all of my bills. And I did this because it eliminates the chance of me ever being late again on any of my bills. And lenders love to see that you're paying things on time. As soon as you start to pay things late, that's when you'll have more derogatory marks on your account. So after paying off my debt, calling the collection agencies to pay off that, and sticking to a budget plan and things like that, I also wanted to make sure that I never went back into that same hole. So all of my bills are now set up on auto pay. I don't really have to think about it. I just have to make sure that my budget is aligned and my bank accounts are aligned to make sure when those bills come out, the money is there. Another thing that helps me with auto pay is by having two separate accounts. I have a billing account and a personal account. So that eliminates the chances of you ever swiping your card at Target and ending up spending money that was accounted for your rent and things like that. So when you have your two different accounts, it just separates everything for you. It makes everything easier. So then once it comes around the first and your rent just automatically is deducted from your account, you don't feel as stressed because I've only been spending on this one card. Everything else in that account, I'm not even touching. I don't even look at it. I just know that those are my bills. Another thing that you can do is have a cushion in that account as well. Whatever account that you have set up for your bills, your auto pay, just have a small cushion in there just in case you ever have a bill that ends up being a little bit more than you budgeted. And that can be a bill like your water, your electricity, and things like that vary from month to month. So having that buffer in that account, that will eliminate the chances of you having to overdraft the account and things like that. So I hope this video was helpful for you just to get some insight on how I was able to raise my credit score over 100 points in 1 year. So if you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment because I will be putting out more content like this. And don't forget to follow me over on Instagram where I post daily motivation and finance tips. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.